put him on the line with Dale Hunter and Ivan Corbo, moving Dale to right wing. And I think that should be a fair combination for him to start with, and then we'll see how it goes, how he plays, where he might fit better if necessary, and make the adjustment within a few games.
What do you expect from the Islanders?
They've been playing very hard, very physical. They've been involved, I know, with New Jersey in a number of fights. Pat LaFontaine, of course, is our nemesis, so we've got to make sure that talent-wise we match up well there. But I think it'll be a good forecheck game, a hard-working game, and hopefully we'll get a few more stops than they do, and we can win on that basis.
Brian, the Capitals' success over the years has been dominance here on home ice. The Capitals have dominated but haven't come away with wins here. Does that make a game like tonight's really important?
Well, we've had a tough time scoring a lot of goals in this building this year for whatever reason. It seems early, and every year we do that. So tonight we put on the red sweaters. Maybe that'll help us, Jeff. I don't know. But we have played well lately. We played well, especially on the road. And now it's a matter of putting some things together here. And I think that a win or two in this building would do an awful lot for our confidence and hopefully get a roll going for us.
Well, let's get it tonight. Thank you.
Right, Jeff. Thanks.
Caps coach Brian Murray. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much. We talked about these Islanders and this new concentration on defense. Another thing they've certainly done a lot more lately is toughness. And what about the trade that brought this toughness into their lineup?
Well, not only did it add toughness, Mike, but I think it just added players who go out and play every shift hard. You couldn't say that about Mikko Makela. A very talented player, but the Islanders traded Mikko Makela to Los Angeles for Ken Baumgartner and Hubie McDonough. Now, in Baumgartner, they have got an acknowledged tough guy. One of the best fighters in the league, a very strong, heavy hitter, a guy who is not really blessed with great skating skills, a guy who may have a little trouble in a speed game. But here is somebody who stands up for his teammates, plays it aggressively, plays it hard, and the Islanders are feeling that it's just proven a point that you just can't go out and just play every other game like Mikko Makela seemed to do. You have to play every night, particularly when you're a young and rebuilding team, and Baumgartner does that, as does Hubie McDonough. Here's a guy who's not that big, but he's a good skater. He's scored some goals in his past, 39 goals last year with New Haven. But he's also a penalty killer. And again, another guy who every shift on the ice works, tries to do something, and it just carries over throughout the entire team. When you've got a team that's young and impressionable, and you put out players who just don't put out the effort like Mikko Makela, despite having all that skill, it really takes away from what you're trying to accomplish as a coach. Now you get these two guys. They may not make up for Makela in skill, but they more than surpass him in desire, and Al Arbour has seen the benefit of that.
Speaking of trades, the Capitals made one during the past week as well. Dave Christian leaves some wonderful memories behind and played some good hockey during his years as a Washington Capital. He becomes a Boston Bruin. Tell us about the new man.
Well, Bob Joyce is a guy who, if you talked to the Boston people last year, here was a superstar in the making. He came in from the 1988 Canadian Olympic team, had a good final part of the regular season, then scored 7 goals in the playoffs, 18 goals, 31 assists in his rookie year last year. He's a strong winger. He likes to work the corners. He likes to go to the front of the net. And he's got a very hard slap shot, accurate, gets it off quickly. But he, like Christian, has been struggling this year. And the Bruins, Harry Sinden felt he just couldn't hang on to Joyce any longer. Now, the Capitals give up a lot in terms of a proven performer, and a guy can also kill penalties and play all 3 forward positions. But you also pick up 7 years of age. You pick up size. You pick up a little more aggressiveness. And they think that Bob Joyce has got a great future ahead of him. And this is where the Capitals are looking. A payoff now, but also really down the road.
Next couple of weeks are going to be very big ones for the Washington Capitals. You take a look at the list of opponents coming up, and there's some very big hockey games coming up for this team.
They've got Philadelphia. They've got Pittsburgh twice. They play the New York Rangers. All these back division teams that are in front of the Capitals right now. Washington feels like with their young players, they're in a position because they're getting experience. They're maturing that they can make that move. They can put together a run like they did last year to take the Patriot Division title. When you've got players like Cicerelli, Courtnall Ridley, who are now starting to produce, and guys like Pivonka, Hunter, and Miller, who are producing more than last year, the Capitals are poised for that. They just have to stay consistent and take advantage of their chances, which are getting plenty of.
Let's turn things over right now to public address announcer Marv Brooks.
Special presentations. You may remain seated. The Washington Capitals at this time want to honor the newly created Maryland Scholastic Hockey League, consisting of 13 Washington and Baltimore area private and public high schools. Hockey competition between these area high schools is about to begin, and the schools are going to be competing for the championship trophy called the Capitals Cup. The Capitals are very proud of their support of amateur hockey in the area, and Vice President General Manager David Poyle and Capitals Director of Community Relations Ivan LeBray are now presenting a check from the Capitals for $4,550 to Mr. Don Gensler, Commissioner for the Maryland Scholastic Hockey League, along with Pat Krim, coach of the DeMatha High School hockey team and Director of Development for the Maryland Scholastic Hockey League. Congratulations, gentlemen. And also, Anheuser-Busch representative Denise Doyle is with us this evening. Denise is going to present the Budweiser Player of the Month for the month of November to Washington Capital, Jeff Courtnall. Ladies and gentlemen, would ask that you all please rise and join Glenn Cunningham in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of promise?
Here's tonight's referee, Kerry Fraser. The linesmen are Kevin Collins and Sweet Knox. Now a look at the starting goaltenders for this evening's contest. First of all, Glenn Healy, who gets the start for New York at 5-10-2 in the season. He's posted a 3.81 goals against average, no shutouts. His backup tonight is Mark Fitzpatrick. Don Beaupre gets the call for Washington. He is 9-9-3 on the year in 22 outings. One shutout. Bob Mason will be the backup goalkeeper for Washington. Beaupre's average at 3.11 on the year. And the Capitals' Mike Ridley dumps the puck inside the New York zone. And here's Kelly Miller trying to center, but it's picked up. And now Johansson takes it back for Washington. Baumgartner is on the ice for New York. The puck centered and goes off the skate of McDonough and is cleared all the way out to center ice. Calle Johansson, who is just coming off a stomach virus, had a case of the flu, and he's in the lineup tonight for Washington. Leads it on the left wing side for Mike Ridley. Here's Ridley trying to center, has it knocked away. Ciccarelli reaches for the puck, but now Henry turns to start back. Dale Henry, playing in only his third game of the season for New York, and dumps it back inside the Washington zone. Dino Ciccarelli tries to clear it outside the zone, but it's sent back inside the end for Vukota in the corner. And Courtnall starts out for Washington. Let ahead now, and here comes Ridley to Ciccarelli across the blue line. And over on the right wing, he's checked, but still has the puck. Takes it behind the goal. Tries to center, and it's held onto the side of the netting. As Jari Gronstrand freezes the puck to stop play. This game just 1 minute and 6 seconds old, and no score. Doug Wickenheiser scratched from the lineup, as is John Druce. Bob Rouse and Scott Kleinendorf are out with knee injuries. For New York, lots of injuries. DeMeo with a chest injury, Pilon with an eye injury, Ricci with hand surgery, Flatley with a broken toe, Chenault has a bad thumb. Brian Trottier scratched tonight from the New York Islander lineup.
Well, I don't think he's 100% healthy as well. That Pilon is a big loss.
Here's a drive from the point, kicked out of there by Healy. Now sent to the corner. Leach with it behind the net. Scott Stevens bounces it to the side of the goal. It's knocked away by Healy with his goal stick, and Gronstrand can't get it. Now Courtnall steals the puck, but it bounces over the stick of Scott Stevens. Up to center ice, here's Alan Kerr across the blue line, slams on the brakes, and can't make a pass into the corner as Michael Pavanka takes it away. Pavanka playing, although he has a sore ankle. Here's the game's first penalty call coming as the net has been dislodged, and a charging call coming. Don Beaupre is still down on one knee after being jostled at the side of the net. The net gets dumped over. We'll see what the penalty calls are when we return after these messages.
This is what great ice-cold draft beer used to look like. This is what it looks like today. Cold filtered, never heat pasteurized, Miller Genuine Draft. Our exclusive cold filtered brewing method produces a smooth, real draft taste that blows ordinary beers away. So tap into the cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
The call is against the New York Islanders' Alan Kerr, charging at 140. Now watch as the puck comes loose. Beaupre goes out to play it, and Kerr goes into him. It's like Kerr kind of pulled up, but certainly collided a bit with Don Beaupre. Neil Sheehy did a smart thing, though, Mike. He was ready to go after Kerr, but looked around and saw that Kerry Fraser's arm was up for a penalty, so didn't go after him, which would have taken the Capitals off this power play opportunity.
Good move early in the game. Late in the game, you can bet Sheehy would have gone after it. On the power play, Washington 16th in the league at 18%. Short-handed, the Islanders 15th in the league at 77%. Scott Stevens out there along with Bill Holder. Steve Leach up front with Hunter and Courtnall. Here's Holder at the left point. Brings it over now to Scott Stevens. High shot, caught by Healy and cleared from in front of the goal. Now sent all the way down the ice by Brent Sutter. Both teams change up the lines. No score, just underway with this game. Here's Courtnall working to the blue line. Now starts to center ice. He fires it back inside the Islander zone. Off a skate, it comes right out front for Norton, and he whips it out to center. Scott Stevens back to his own line. Up to Kelly Miller. Miller being hooked by Maloney, but gets away from him. Now sends it over to Scott Stevens. Now leads it ahead to Mike Ridley. Ridley across the line. Taken away. Didick clears to the point. Johansson keeps it in. Charges in front. Ridley a shot and a save by Healy. The Capitals pinballed it over to Ridley right at the side of the net. But Healy was there to make the save. Now Johansson back to center ice. Flips it on into the Islander zone. Gerald Didick behind the net. Clears it off the boards to center ice, and Hatcher's back for it. Throws it over to Johansson. Calle Johansson, a bad pass to center ice. Norton takes it, carries inside the Washington zone, centers it. It's loose, and it's cleared away from in front of the net where Beaupre was reaching to grab it. Bob Joyce starts back now for Washington. Throws it on into the corner. Healy stops it behind the net. Clears it off the high glass to the point, and Hatcher keeps it in. Bounces it in front. Deflected on goal. And Healy makes a pad save. Hatcher waits for it at the point. And here is Ridley in the corner. Ridley sets up. Tries to find Ciccarelli. But Crossman chases him to the sideboards. Dino Ciccarelli back into the corner for Ridley. At the blue line. Here's Sheehy. Now to Hunter, and couldn't handle the puck, and it's cleared to the blue line by LaFontaine. Now Kerr out of the box, the penalty's over, and the Islanders back at full strength. Over to Crossman. Flips it right in front of the net. Beaupre grabs it, the puck comes loose, there's a penalty call coming. And now Sheehy wants to go after Kerr. Pushing and shoving still continuing out there. Now Alan May wants to talk to Baumgartner, and Kypreos steps in and has something to say to him. But the linesmen are between them. Now May has something to talk to Kerr about. And the Capitals are still wanting to talk to Kerr, but it looks like it'll have to wait because Fraser has called a minor for hooking against Nick Kypreos. Islander power play coming up.
the Subaru Legacy L and the Toyota Camry DLX. Which one is the bigger value? Well, the Subaru Legacy has a lot of standard features the competition doesn't, like more horsepower, power windows and door locks, more rear legroom, and four-wheel disc brakes. So, comparing the Subaru Legacy and the Camry, it's obvious. The Camry's not even in the picture. The new Subaru Legacy from about $12,500.
The penalty call is hooking to Nick Kyprios at 4:31. Action in front with Kerr breaking down the middle with that puck. Rather, LaFontaine breaking down there, and it was hooked down to the ice by Nick Kyprios for the penalty.
Islander power play ranked 4th in the league at 24%. The Capitals 7th in the league in penalty killing at 83%. And Rob Murray grabs the puck with his gloved hand and just throws it into the Washington bench. So the faceoff will be back inside the Capital zone with 15:16 to go here in the first period. And Kyprios still has 1:46 left to serve on his hooking minor, which came at 4:31.
The Capital penalty killers, who have been so strong throughout most of the year, have slipped a little bit, and this is going to be an area where some younger players are going to have to step forward. People are going to have to get more time, because that was one of the jobs David Christian had, killing penalties. One of the better ones for the Washington Capitals, so we'll see. Brian Murray out there with Murray and Pavanka right now.
Here's a steal by Rob Murray, and it's taken away again, though, by Crossman. Murray stole the puck and then lost control of it, or he would have had a breakaway in on Healy. On the right wing, LaFontaine throws it into the corner, and it's behind the net. Beaupre stops it there, and now here's Langway up the boards for Murray. Rob Murray outside the line, and Pavanka clears to center ice. Lead pass for Sutter. Stolen, and Kelly Miller sends it all the way down. A minute to go in the Kyprios penalty. Miller plays it off the sideboards, and now Healy chases it in behind the net. Over to Crossman. Doug Crossman works to the blue line, now stick handles to center ice. He gives to Norton. Jeff Norton, a wrist shot, blocked by Healy. Norton chases it behind the goal. Clears back to Crossman, dumps behind the net, and Volek is there, but Sheehy rides him off the play. Cleared out of the zone and tipped by Kelly Miller the rest of the way down the ice. 25 seconds left to go now in the Kyprios penalty. No score between the Capitals and the Islanders here in the first period. Sheehy to the corner, blasts it off the boards. It gets away from Nyland at the blue line. Alan May. Back to Sheehy, and he sends it all the way down.
Alan May appears to be the first beneficiary of that extra ice time with the absence of Christian. First time we've seen Alan May out there killing penalties, Mike.
Kyprios out of the box. Washington back at full strength. Here's Kerr behind the net. Cleared back to the right point. Wrist shot wide of the goal, and now chased by May over on the right wing. Held up by Derek King, and again the puck cleared out of the zone. It bounces back into Islander territory. No icing. Both teams change up the lines, and now another penalty call coming from Kerry Fraser. This will be elbowing. The time of the penalty, 6:57 of the first period of play, and the Islanders, Alan Kerr will be the man to head to the penalty box. Caps on the power play again when we return.
Labatt's Blue, crisp, clean, imported beer from Canada.
Well, the Islanders' Alan May makes his second visit to the penalty box. An elbowing call this time at 6:57. Capital power play only got one quality chance on goal the first time they were out there. That was a chance by Mike Ridley. Alan May and Kerr in that corner.
Pretty good look at an elbow there.
Right, there comes Kerr in.
Crossman clears it all the way down back into the Washington zone, and now Beaupre stops it at the side of the net. And here comes Kevin Hatcher. Stolen puck. Walking in is Sutter. He scores! Sutter with the steal off a Kevin Hatcher pass that was misguided on its way out of the zone. And he picks that off and waltzes in for a shorthanded goal. And that gives the Islanders a 1-0 lead.
Well, just like the Capitals, the New York Islanders very aggressive in their penalty killing. They send those penalty killing forwards in deep. And Kevin Hatcher just throws that blind pass trying to get over to Kelly Johansson. Johansson tries to hold up Sutter's stick to no avail. Brent Sutter beats down Beaupre short-handed to put the Islanders on top 1-0. Still a minute, 38 left to go in the Kerr penalty. And Brian Murray has quickly removed his point men. Johansson and Hatcher off, Holder and Stevens out.
Here comes Holder to center ice and drives it back inside the New York zone. Puck cleared off the glass and flipped all the way down back into the Washington end. Holder goes after the puck as Stevens slows down Maloney. Now Scott Stevens with it behind the net. Leads it ahead on the left wing side. Courtnall across the blue line. Courtnall coming on, throws it wide of the net. Now over to Hunter. Hunter checked on the play, and Steve Leach back to get it. To Dale Hunter. Left side for Courtnall. Courtnall fakes the shot, attempts a pass, and Nyland picks that off, but can't clear it. Holder keeps it inside the Islanders zone. Healy sends it up the boards, and Courtnall with it there. Jeff Courtnall back to the point for Scott Stevens. Now to Courtnall, a high shot, knocked down. Healy made the shoulder save, and the rebound skittered just wide. Scott Stevens back at center ice. Winds and drives it into the corner. Hunter in to chase Nyland. Now behind the goal. Works on Crossman. The puck comes up the side boards, and Holder keeps it in. Ivan Corvo behind the net. Skates it back to the point. Here's Bill Holder. A pass to Hunter. In front to Courtnall. A shot, and a save is blocked. The rebound shot. That goes just wide off Courtnall's stick. Healy tries to clear, but it comes right to Corvo. He gives it up to Crossman, and it finally winds up on the stick of Hunter. Penalty's over. Kerr's out of the box. The Islanders back at full strength. Corvo trying to center, and Healy loses his goal stick, but dives on top of the puck and hangs on to stop play.
Once again, the Capitals only get one good chance on the power play. That shot comes in from Jeff Courtnall as he was set up in the slot. He wound up for the slap shot instead of taking the wrist shot. And Al Arbour, so his defense reacted to that. The guy who did a really outstanding job on it was Gary Nyland, who tied up Ivan Corvo. The rebound came right out to where Corvo was standing, but he was completely wrapped up by Nyland. And Al Arbour's Islanders escape for the second time tonight. Not only do they escape, but while shorthanded, come off with a 1-0 lead on the Brent Sutter talent.
Pavanka leans in to work the draw, but the Islanders get it. And now Gronstrand behind the net, checked by Alan May. May held up by Gronstrand, and the puck cleared off the stick of Joyce. Back come the Islanders on the attack. On the right wing, Alan Kerr throws it on into the Washington zone. Beaupre stops it behind the net. Over now to Langway in the corner. He backs it up for Sheehy. Neil Sheehy for Washington. The Capitals trail 1-0 on a shorthanded goal by Brent Sutter of the Islanders. Baumgartner takes it away from Alan May. Works it out of the zone, and here comes Derek King. King across the blue line. Hit by Bob Joyce, and Pavanka takes over with the puck. Throws it behind the net. Up the left wing boards for Joyce. He saw Baumgartner, or rather Gronstrand, coming and ties him up. The puck comes back to Baumgartner. Sheehy at his own line, up for Ciccarelli. Back for Neil Sheehy. Bounces beyond his stick, and Scott Stevens in to take it. Right side pass, Ciccarelli. Up to center ice. Here comes Ridley across the line. Mike Ridley on the left wing side. Saves it! Oh, and a shot by Ciccarelli. Went off the goalpost. Dino Ciccarelli put one right off the goalpost from the off-wing position. Ciccarelli centers it. Ridley can't make the connection in front as Healy helped that along with his goal stick. Good scoring chance moments ago for the Capitals. Back comes Norton for New York. Drops it off for Maloney. His high drive stopped by Beaupre. Now a rebound into the net. The Islanders go in front 2-0, scoring on a rebound after Don Beaupre had stopped the initial drive but was still down on the ice in front of the goal.
And after Dino Ciccarelli hit the post at the other end. And remember, this was the line that killed the Capitals in the first meeting here at the Cap Center. Vakota got the 3 goals. This time I think it's going to be Maloney who's going to pick up the loose puck and whack it home, but it's his unit out there. There's Vakota right in front. And you can see how the Capitals are scrambled out. Give Norton, though, a lot of credit. He's the man who brings that play up ice as a defenseman and adds to the rush. It's a 4-on-3 then. The Capitals never cover up. Nobody can pick up that rebound. And just like what happened the first time these two teams met, it's the Islanders jumping off for the early lead, this time 2-zip.
Here's Alan May out to center ice now for Washington. Throws it across the line back inside the Islander zone. May is hit hard on the play. Gronstrand ties up behind it, and Alan May goes piling in on top of Gronstrand. Now Sutter holds him off. Sutter and May continue to jostle, and finally Sutter clears the puck to the corner. Now a slap shot goes wide. Out at center ice, Sutter across the blue line, looking for Volek, but Murray steals. He starts back. Long lead pass to Nick Kypreos. Kypreos across the line to Corvo, fires, and Hatcher couldn't follow up on the rebound after Healy made a sparkling save in net, and the puck came right out front. Kevin Hatcher was unable to get a stick on it. Hatcher back into his own zone now. Islanders leading 2-0. Here's Hunter in across the blue line. In Islander territory, Hunter in the corner. Taken away by Joyce, a wrist shot, stopped by Healy, tries to bat it free, and ends up covering the puck to his left, and he holds on there to stop play. Let's check in downstairs now with Jeff Rimmer.
Well, big night tonight for the Washington Capitals. They can gain some ground in the National Hockey League's Patrick Division standings. As we get a look on our Washington Post scoreboard, the Caps trailing here are obviously watching what's going on, and it's the Red Wings ahead of Chicago 2-1 in the first period. Here's the key game for the Capitals. A win for Washington and a loss for New Jersey, and they trail 2-1. Would vault the Capitals ahead of both New Jersey and Pittsburgh, but not a good start for the Caps here tonight at the Capitol Center. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jeff. Scoring in this game, Sutter's 12th of the season, Maloney's 13th. And the Sutter goal was shorthanded to give the Islanders a 2-0 lead. 9-5 the shot so far, and Washington has the advantage. Up on the right wing side, here comes Randy Wood. He passes it over to Thibodeau. Throws it back inside the Washington zone, and Langway to the corner lines up Wood, but now the whistle blows before those two crunched in the corner. And play is stopped, and they've ruled it offside. The faceoff will come out into neutral ice.
Brian Murray's got to settle his team down a bit. They look a little jumpy. They seem a bit disorganized. You know, part of it, you've got a new guy in there in Bob Joyce. They had the 2 power play opportunities, and Brian Murray then had to try and mix and match his line to get out the people who hadn't been out there on that power play effort. The shorthanded goal certainly takes plenty of wind out of you, and the Capitals just need to tighten up, giving rebounds and some chances there on that Maloney goal, and not taking advantage of some of the rebounds that they've had. They've had a couple of golden opportunities, Mike, but they have been unable to pick up those rebounds that have been lying there.
Here's Courtnall with a pass over to Stephen Leach, and his shot is blocked, and now the Islanders come back. Thibodeau up to center ice. Across the Washington line, taken away. Pavanka works it ahead for Leach. Leach run off the play into the boards. Back to Rod Langway. Led ahead, and Leach inside the Islander zone. Looks for Pavanka, can't find him. The puck cleared all the way back to the Washington blue line, and the Capitals complete a line change, and Scott Stevens now chased to the corner and hooked to the ice by Kerr, and Alan Kerr will head to the penalty box for his 3rd minor penalty of this period.
Is that a natural hat trick? 3 in a row for Alan Kerr. The Islanders still on top, 2-0.
At All-Star Chevrolet, with just $500 down cash or trade, you can purchase a 1990 Chevy Beretta for just $178 a month, a 1990 Cavalier VL for just $135 a month, or buy a 1990 Chevy S10 EL pickup for just $131 a month. How about a 1990 Chevy conversion van with automatic air conditioning and more for just $340 a month? All-Star Chevrolet beats credit union and buying service prices. All-Star Chevrolet, you'll love them.
Well, Kerr had done his job initially. The forechecking pressure caused Scott Stevens to give the puck up, but then once Scott Stevens started to turn and go for it, Kerr did a little too much with the stick to get into Scott Stevens, pull him to the ice, and pick up his third consecutive penalty of this period, hooking the call at 13-13.
Crossman chases it back inside the Islander zone. Now Ridley back of the goal after, but Crossman still with the puck. Plays it for McDonough. Hubie McDonough held up by Kelly Miller. And sent off the sideboards. And to the point where Hatcher keeps it in. Now batted by Crossman all the way back to center ice. Johansson over to get it. To Hatcher. Up to Ridley. Ridley left wing side. Kelly Miller goes into the corner. At the point is Calle Johansson to Miller. Walks in on the left wing side. Drops it off for Ciccarelli. Back to Johansson. His shot goes just wide of the net. And played by Crossman up the boards. Crossman takes it again and sends it off the glass to center ice. And they rule the puck knocked down with a high stick. They're going to bring the faceoff now back into Washington ice with 48 seconds to go in the penalty call to Alan Kerr.
You saw in that last Capitals setup, what the Capitals do now with Calle Johansson is out there is they try and work him more towards the middle. Make it almost like an umbrella sort of lineup with him alone at the top, right in the middle of the ice near the blue line, and then the wings down. Kevin Hatcher, in this case, his point man, will drop down to that far right wing side, trying to set up Johansson for that one-timer off the pass from Ciccarelli to either get it on goal in the manner he scored against Boston in the first goal of the hockey game, or to set it up for a rebound the way he was able to set up Dino Ciccarelli also in that game.
Puck cleared off the glass and out to center. Healy came pretty close to putting that one into the seats. Went right near the very tip top of the glass as he sent it off, and it had it gone into the crowd, it would have been a 2-minute penalty. Here comes Courtnall back now for Washington. Drop pass for Leach, and it's taken right to the net in the skates, and finally Healy reaches out and just grabs the puck and covers it up to stop play.
Have to be impressed with the way the Islanders are really tying up the Capital forwards. This time it was Jeff Norton completely wrapping up Jeff Courtnall. I mentioned Nyland has done a good job at that so far tonight. Capitals with just 12 seconds left to work on their third power play of the period. And with only 4 shots on goal for the first 2 power plays, I would think only a shot on goal, and they haven't even gotten a shot on goal on this effort. Just have to have more consistent work on the power play. It's, you know, it's dramatic how up and down it goes. You watch them against Boston, they're 3 for 3. They ended up in the game 3 for 4 on the power play. The next night in Buffalo, they got a 5-minute major and can barely put anything on goal. Here tonight with 3 minors to work with already, they've only got 4 shots to show.
Scott Stevens twisted around by LaFontaine, throws the puck to the corner, and Corvo tries to work it free. Penalty about to expire. And Kerr jumps back on the ice, and the Islanders are at full strength. He's free if they can find him, and the pass goes just too far. Beaupre sends it up the board. Bob Joyce on the left wing, wearing number 27 for Washington, in across the blue line. Crossman works to center. Too far for Pat LaFontaine, and Beaupre has it behind the net. Steers it up the boards. Bob Joyce out to center ice, finds Corvo. Has to wait, though, as Hunter's offside. And in the process, the Islanders take the puck. Here's Derek King across the line into Washington territory. Langway steals and starts back. Rod Langway with the Capitals on the line change. Carries the puck into the zone. Chased by Nyland. Centers it. It's loose. Murray digs it free. But the Islanders clear it out of there. Linesman Kevin Collins takes a spill. And the Caps dump it back inside the New York zone. Here's Alan May at the side of the net. Tries to stuff it into the goal, and now it's picked up and cleared by Derek King all the way down the ice back into the Washington end. This will be no icing here as Beaupre plays it. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first period. Islanders leading 2-0. Murray out to Holder. Puts it across the line. Back inside the New York zone. Again, the Islanders clear it back into the Washington end. New York wants to complete the line change, and now they get the job done. Gerald did it. Over to Baumgartner. To center ice, and Kevin Hatcher plays it to Scott Stevens. 3 minutes to play, first period. Inside the Islanders zone, Hubie McDonough up the right wing boards. The puck popped up just inside the line, and Stevens pushed out of there. Back comes McDonough with it. He fires wide of the Washington net. Now Scott Stevens back to take it. Stevens hits Ciccarelli at center ice with a pass. Dino Ciccarelli across the line. Wrist shot. Hitting Brad Lauer and settles into the corner for Sutter. Sutter circles the goal and starts out. Right wing side. Sutter ahead to center ice. Gets across the blue line. Sutter pushed away by Sheehy. And back in the corner is Scott Stevens. Bumped by Lauer. Here's Stevens to get it. Lead pass to center ice, and Courtnall takes it across the line. Drops it off for Ciccarelli. Thrown into the corner. Courtnall behind the net. Bumps with Norton. The puck loose in the corner. 1:51 to go here in the first period of play. Slap shot by Volek right on, and Beaupre makes the save. Now Sheehy crashes Volek into the corner board. Pavanka out to Leach. Across the line with Courtnall. Passes to Pavanka. He passes in front of the net, and it's taken away and cleared by Diddick all the way back to the Washington line. Langway to Johansson. Up to Pavanka. Throws it behind the goal. Courtnall chasing after it, but Volek gets there first. And David Volek bats it into the Washington end. 2-0 Islanders as we near the 1 minute mark remaining here in the first period of play. Randy Wood's pass intercepted by Hunter. He finds Joyce on the left wing. Drop pass Hunter. Hunter into the corner, tries to center. The puck loose. Healy grabs it and covers up to stop play as the pushing and shoving starts in the corner. And Hunter's stick is being held over there as Dale Hunter had a stick that was too high for one of the Islanders, and Baumgartner being escorted away now by Kevin Collins.
Hunter's stick held by Baumgartner. Gronstrand had Joyce wrapped up as Joyce went in towards the net and just basically tried to shove the puck and Gronstrand in to the goaltender Glenn Healy. Just a minute left to play as the Islanders, despite being outshot 10-6, lead 2-0. And the key turnover, of course, the Hatcher giveaway. That made a major difference in this period, but extremely impressed the way the Islanders have forgotten their two rather poor defensive performances against New Jersey and have come out and played a very tight defensive game. The forwards are helping out, but the defense really doing the job in front, tying up the sticks, the bodies of the Capital forwards in front of Glenn Healy.
From the draw, here comes Derek King out to center ice. Hatcher back to get it. Throws it across the line, back inside the New York zone. Baumgartner checked by Ivan Korovo. They tie it up there. The puck's still loose. Now King is held by Joyce, and Korovo takes possession. Loses the puck to Crossman. Flips it off the glass and all the way back to the Washington line. LaFontaine chasing after it and tied up by Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher's pass to Korovo, now out to Joyce. Seconds left in the period. Crossman with it behind the net. Islanders start another rush, and here comes Baumgartner to center ice. Left side for King. Thrown all the way down back into the corner. Scott Stevens in Washington territory. As time runs out, he passes to Kelly Miller. And after one period of play, the New York Islanders leading the Washington Capitals 2-0 Brent Sutter, his 12th goal of the season, unassisted. And then Maloney comes up with his 13th of the year from Norton and Bucota at 10:49. Shots on goal in the period. Washington with 10, and the New York Islanders with 6. Our live exclusive hockey coverage continues right after we pause for these messages here on the Home Team Sports Television Network.